Um, uh, it doesn't say it in the NPC list, so I'm buggered too.
Okay. All right. So
we can remember that this house was immediately next to town.
Yeah. So the character you were looking for is the one that had annoyed, or you had run into initially, was Kane and Bula, who met this character at the beginning. They've been a figure that has been mentioned quite a few times, and they are also the person who caused the most anger in your group for kicking a dog, or assume that it's this one that did it, which is Eldrin Paleclaw. That's who we were looking for.
I thought that was... that's where I'm missing up. I knew we were looking for a high-ranking person, but I forgot that it was the captain of these guys that actually was that named. That's where I screwed up.
Okay,
I was trying to remember.
So that was...
I knew the freaking prick was there, but who was the other one that we were looking for? And then I completely missed that. Oh, right, they're the same person. Shit.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so you went in looking for this person, and then what happened?
We fought our way through this entire place, did not attempt to talk to anyone. Tisven is also rather largely responsible for this. Got downed a few times, or a couple of us got downed a few times, got back up, managed to beat everyone here. We took a short rest, if I remember. And then Tisven got the bright idea to start dragging bodies out in front of this building, forgetting how close it is to town, and well, people saw it.
Yeah, that's pretty correct. And then once the people had seen that you were bringing out these bodies, what happened then? Somebody else? Anybody else want to pass some information on?
More guards showed up.
More guards showed up, but also, oh god, it's been so long. Johan ran into town to try and convince people that everything was okay, I believe.
That's correct, yes. He ran off into town, and then...
We murdered them. We murdered everyone.
And then some more guards had come in from town, presumably from various people within the town themselves, going and alerting them to the fact that something dodgy was going on at Hallowspire House. And after they arrived, you quickly made short work of them. And then I don't know if you remember, there were Owlins that attacked you from outside, but then just as you were going inside and thought that was the end of them, 2 more Owlin appeared from somewhere within the house. And I believe at the end of the session, we had 3 members of the party who were unconscious, stabilized, I believe, but unconscious, which were, I think, Moira, Amoros, and Tisven. And yep. I think it was you, Galatea, that got the final blow on the last Owlin as well.
I did.
Putting it down.
Rewatched that. That was very satisfying.
I
think that might have been the first useful thing.
And I think, and you were right. You were using your medical kit to revive people, or at least to stabilize them as well. So
yeah,
it's pretty much that's pretty good. The last thing that happened was that
Johan came in.
Johan came at the very end, and
I remembered.
And yes, the whatever the Eldrin had done to you when you had captured them, your memory has now returned as they came into the room.
See, I remember the important facts.
So yeah, that's pretty much there. You went to Hallowspire House looking for Eldrin, or with Johan, attempts to confront him, to confront them for what they've been doing in town and to tell them that they were no longer needed. But things didn't go your way. You ended up taking out the entire house. and capturing Elton Paleclaw, who was the captain of the Scarlet Guard. However, when you did capture them, they revealed themselves as they went unconscious to not be an owlin at all. They were, in fact, some kind of corrupted-looking dryad. You had them bound up, and Kane was keeping a good eye on them, using some of the facilities of Hallow Spar House, which happened to be some cells that were downstairs. As you said, you took the bodies outside, getting ready to make a pyre just at the edge of town, where you were going to be burning the guards. But shortly before you realised that the townsfolk were looking on in horror at seeing these bodies all being thrown outside and a pyre being made, you attempted to win them over to kind of reassure them that you were helping out. There was something going on, which had mixed results. Some people believed you, some people less likely so, and that's probably what caused the guards to come in as well. But now all the guards that you have encountered, at least, whether there are any more in town, you don't know. But all the ones that you encountered at the house have now fallen, and you are now within Hallospar House, surrounded by a lot of dead owlin. And I think you did a pretty good job. So I will give inspiration to who did we have that we were saying them? So no one remembered the name of Eldrin, did they? Druid, I think, and Quack, you gave us quite a bit of information, didn't you, about the was there.
Yay.
So not too bad. All right, everyone has inspiration for this session.
What?
So you'll get inspiration there.
Ambrose was facing the floor.
We'll start off this year right. And that will only last for today's session, so use it or lose it.
Nice.
But yes, so we come to the start of this session where actually one other thing. Who was the person in the house that you rescued?
The boy.
Can you be a bit more specific?
What was his name? It was the son of the old satyr granny.
That's right. Yeah. Do anyone remember the name?
I can't remember the name.
Something with B.
Yeah, Boren Warb.
Boren.
Yes, Boren, who had been manacled and shackled and locked in a cage in the upper part of the Hallospar House. And you've been rescued. Been taken downstairs to rest in what used to be the guard room. And I think, Moira, you gave them some food that you picked up in the kitchen upstairs as well to help them. But they were currently asleep or holding up in the guard room while all this other fighting was going on. As I said, at the end of the last session, Johan had arrived back into the main room to find 3 of you unconscious. 2 of you, actually, Valadama, you're reasonably wounded, and I think Kane also, you're down, you're blooded as well. And as he comes back into the room, you look up Galatea, and there is a sudden recognition that you hadn't had recently.
Galatea just looks down at the. It's still sat, sort of looking at the owlin in front of them, and then notices your hand come in, and the whole thing rushes over them. And they stagger up to their feet and just moves as fast as they can over to Johan and gives him a hug.
I think Johan initially is unsure as you come towards them, but then as you embrace them, he sighs a little bit with relief realizing that you recognize him once again, and he just holds you while looking round at the the additional bodies and members of your team on the ground.
You're.
Galatia, you recognize me again. I was not sure you would.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm so fuzzy. I think whatever happened to the others, but it's gone now. It's gone. I'm so glad to see you.
I was only gone a few moments, but it seems I have missed out on more of these guards. I thought we had taken them all. The ones outside I saw flying, and I rushed back as soon as I could. I'm sorry I was not able to get here any sooner. The others, are they okay? Do they need...
Galatea looks around at all of them, checking each individually and making a mental check of who's been seen to and who's got bandages on them, and then looks up at your hand again and nods slightly. They're okay, but barely. Kane, thank you.
I would have done it for any of you.
We need rest. Galatea sort of steps back and looks around, and looks towards the door to the guard room. I don't know what to do. What happened with the town? It was so stupid. I'm sorry.
Well, thankfully, I still have some sway with the people here, and they were a little taken aback about seeing the guard. They do not know them as we do. They are still under the impression that the Scarwood Guard are loyal subjects and here to protect them. I myself had even told them as such when they first arrived, but I was able to convince them that there was treachery afoot, and thankfully they believed them. They believed me.
Okay.
I do not know if there are still those who still followers of the Queen. I don't know if they still hold her in high regard. I mean, it is difficult. She has done so many wicked things recently. But people can still hold them in high regard and may feel that we are overstepping here. But I will try my best to, now that this has hopefully been sorted, I will try to win them back to our side. But I would caution, do not make too much of this with townsfolk if you go in. It is probably better until we know who we can trust and who we cannot, to keep what happened here to ourselves for now. I have simply told them that there has been a change of leadership within the Scarwood Guard, and I will be taking more of my father's role from here on.
Okay. I guess we need to stay here then. At least we have a witness now. Oh,
Yes, Borin will be most helpful to persuade those who are still unsure of the Skyward God's true intent. He has first-hand knowledge of what they did to him, and I'm sure his word would. Just looking at him, they will be able to see what has happened to him. But I think before we go any further, we must attend to your friends. We must rest, or we must do something. Perhaps the apothecary in town may be able to help her. Don't know what tinctures she has in store, or whether that we have enough to go around. But
I think if we can just sleep, we might be okay. And then tomorrow we can. I'm so tired.
we can rest here. I'm sure this house has been abandoned for some time, so now with the guards gone, it belongs to no one. If you wish to rest here until you are feeling better, then by all means. Out of game, it's probably about midday, so it hasn't been that long because you got up here in the morning and you came straight here. And although things have progressed, probably only a few hours has passed by. So
I don't think any of us care what time of day it is.
No, that's fine. I'm just pointing. You can certainly if you wish to long rest at this point, or if you rest do it in a short rest or rest again, you will come back up to consciousness if there's anything else you wanted to do during this day. But if you want to take a long rest and go into the next day, you can. But I'll leave that up to you.
What does everyone else feel like?
Easy. Ow.
Yeah, we've got heavy casualties here.
Cool, thank you.
I think a long rest is the better option.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, sure, I'm still passed out, so my voice is mute, but me as a player can say it at least.
See, the way that you say this, Faye, means that there's something that happens today that we can't control. If we're not around for
I'm just
it.
asking the question.
But-
There's no insinuation or anything. No.
But at this point, I don't care. I want to sleep.
That's cool. All right. Okay. So, are you gonna go into the barracks that are here, and take your long rest?
Yeah. How many beds are there?
There's enough beds. There's beds in here, and there's beds upstairs, and there's enough for everyone.
Okay.
You will probably have to carry those who are unconscious away. What are you doing? There's still Eldrum Paleclaw, who is currently unconscious still, I think, having taken probably a boot to the head after mocking you before. Probably still unconscious from that. You do have the cells that you had originally, because I think they're still bound anyway, but there's there if you want to put them in there, or you let me know what you want to do with them.
Might ask. Kane. What should we do with this piece of shit?
Put him in the cell again, and we'll take an hour's watch each.
I can't. I need sleep.
Sleep is good, but you might have to break your sleep to keep an eye on. He's tricksy. I don't want to leave him.
Yeah.
I can do a first watch if you like. I am reasonably well rested. I have not fought, so I can take the first watch.
Okay.
Yeah. That's very generous of you. I think I'm less beat up than everyone else because of my armor, so I'll take second.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I assume you'll take those who are unconscious and put them on the beds.
Yeah,
And
I'll carry Moira in there. That's the only one I can lift.
okay, cool.
Game paused. Game paused. Can't click things.
Oh, that's all right. Sorry. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just move some people over. There you go. And this one moving over there as well. Okay. And we'll put Eldrum and Johan will go and sit in that room there as well. I'll put Warren in, just in this bed so that there's an even number. There we go. Okay. All right. So everyone is taking a long rest, and
Yes.
Kane, you're just going to switch over like halfway through, so that I guess that. Well, actually, Johan doesn't need to take a rest, so he will watch. He probably will want a rest, so he will probably switch over you after a few hours, but he won't need to take a long rest at the moment. But yeah. So yeah, if you are all, unless there's anything else you want to do, you can all mark yourselves down for a long rest.
I would like to barricade the door, please.
Yeah. So that the door, the room that you're in, both have locks. The
Gonna
front
lock
door,
those.
the front door. I think you had pushed stuff up against it before, so you can do the same thing there to barricade that. So yeah, you can rest assured that you've secured the doors that you are able to.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Then yeah, you may all take a long rest.
Whew.
That rest do be needed.
Okay, so you all have a long rest. You're not disturbed by anyone. You switch over your cane with your hand at the appropriate time. But you all manage to get the benefits of a long rest, and you can mark your sheets as such.
Woo!
I'll obviously need you to mark mine for me.
That's correct. Yes, I
Thank
also
you.
want to take away some of these effects that are on your character currently. That one, and what was the other one that we had on you? Where is the little?
I'll take off my mage armor.
Oh, yes, you've got that icon because your health is there, isn't it? Right. Long rest. Rest. There we go. Now you're back up to full again. Lovely. Okay. So, the morning comes. We'll say that you, after all the action that had happened in the last couple of sessions, you sleep through the day into the evening. You probably can have a light evening meal, and then probably rest some more. Not only just for sleep, but just to heal your wounds, to be able to deal with all the stress of what happened in the last couple of days. And you've just taken, that sort of extra time to really recover and bind any wounds and things. The bodies of the Owlin that are outside remain where they are. The ones inside remain where they are. And in the early hours of the morning, Kane, you're probably the first person to be awake. You'll have swapped over at some point with Johan in the morning. Perhaps he comes back to relieve you again after another 4 hours. But the two of you will be currently awake, or awake first before the others.
Hmm. I know it hasn't had the best track record in the Feywild so far since we've been here, but I suppose Kane will at least try to pray.
Yeah.
Getting out his merchant scales and some coins from his coin purse to perhaps try and balance them and say a word or two to Argental. I don't know if you can hear me, my lord. I try to carry your influence through this new realm that I find myself in, but I feel ever more distant the longer I spend here from your light. The sense of balance in the Feywild is shaky, perhaps skewed at some points. But I carry your word through these lands, despite the trials and tribulations, and I pray that someday soon I can feel your influence more prominently again. Thank you, my lord, for your guidance, even though it's faint. And then he'll put his scales away, and maybe think about just checking on the house, making sure nothing's awry.
Yeah. And you follow your routine as you normally do in the morning. Your sense of connection may be dimmed, but you still feel it's worth doing. You still feel that there is a sense there that you have this connection. The vision you had in a dream previously gives you faith that you still have connection to this power.
Yeah, precisely. It stopped him from fully giving up hope of being able to communicate.
And you look around the house. Nothing seems to have changed. The house is quiet in the early hours of the morning, and the guard remain as they were. You may have sort of moved them over to the side just so they're not in the front of the doorways, so making it easier for you to walk through. But they just sort of piled up in the corner currently. Tisman, sorry, I know that you don't have to sleep as long as well. You probably would have taken a little bit longer just for your injuries that you had suffered as well, but you'll probably be another person who is up and awake a bit earlier as well.
Tisman would go through his regular prayer and then gear maintenance, waiting for the others to wake up. Maybe discussing a bit with Kane about what happened after he passed out to get the information, but otherwise keeping to himself at the moment.
Yeah, Kane would, he'd reciprocate. He'd maybe sit down over breakfast and kind of tell you that he sustained heavy injuries himself. He thinks he's going to have scars for at least the next couple of weeks, but we did manage to emerge victorious at least, and now Galatea has her memories back.
Okay, and any of the others, whenever you want, you may. Whenever you normally naturally wake up.
I was about to say I would have gossiped so hard if I was I was you two. Like, she what?
I think Tisfin might be the wrong person to kind of think about those things. He doesn't strike me as the type to gossip.
No, but he's the most interesting to tell, considering what he knows.
Fair.
Sorry, but you don't know that. Galatea will wake up at some point just from the nerves, and sit in their bed and flick through their spell book, studying.
At some point, Valadomir might, since she's close, might hear Amros mutter to himself, I so gotta pick up some better close defense options.
You and me both, buddy. Morning. Oh, night, I think. And they look at the little pendant that they've got. Considering how to tell the time within a house without looking at the moons and without having counted how many turns it has been. Just puts it down again. Shrugs a little.
That's quite complicated. This one, you have to get your hand to confirm the details about how to use this stone before you become au fait with it.
I'll practice. This is not an early morning activity.
But luckily, in this house as well, while Amros and Moira had been going through, you did notice that there was a kitchen upstairs that seemed to be and a larder that seemed to be well stocked. So, I'd say in the evening when you roused and wanted to look for food, you weren't necessarily needing to use any of your own supplies. You were able to take some resources from the cupboards here, and can do so again for the morning if you wish.
Cool. Galatea will get up on the stretch and tell Amaros, I'm gonna go and try and find some food for us all. Would you check on the others? Make sure they're okay, and maybe wake them. I'll find the others.
Who has the best survival skill in our party? Which I'm guessing is what we'd use to determine cooking.
I don't know. It could be performance.
Survival, it'd probably be more if you were foraging for stuff. I'll say that if you were trying to like cook something really well, it would be more like maybe performance.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe dexterity if you were doing something particularly complicated. The food in this house, you would imagine, like, if you got cheeses and meats and breads and stuff, it wouldn't take a survival skill to be able to put those together for breakfast or anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try anyway. If it's rubbish, suck it.
All right, so
you shouldn't underestimate how bad some people are in the kitchen.
so
Go
I see you.
through it,
Are you
so-
going to try and create some, grab all the things you can and make some grandioso breakfast meal? Are you?
No. I'm gonna make something that I know how to do.
Okay.
I'm pretty decent at cooking, having done so all my life.
Cool.
But I'm not a chef. I'm just a person who travels a lot. So gonna go and say hi to Kane and Johan.
So Johan is still in the cell at the moment. People have taken over while Kane and Tisvin were probably having their conversation as well. He was probably still there.
Yeah, and Kane and Tisvin are upstairs.
I don't know where are you guys at the moment.
Is there like a dining table anywhere?
There was upstairs, on the first floor, just outside the kitchen.
So yeah, I guess that's where I'd be. I don't know if Tisman would be there too.
I think Tisman would have gone in search, seen the others in there, gone in search of them after his prayers, bringing his gear with me to do his stuff, where it wouldn't annoy anyone else.
Sorry, you would have been where? Sorry, you would have gone somewhere else.
Tisvan would probably have sat with Kane at the
I see, at the table.
upstairs.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. I'll move you up there. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. And yes, so for Galatea, the kitchen is just off of that. If you are preparing to make anything in there.
Yeah.
Amros and Moira, what are you up to?
Moira is gonna wake up.
I was about to say Amros would move down and sit on this bed, just making sure Moira is all right and just staying by her side. But she freaking woke up anyway. I guess I would go up by moving.
Moira's just kind of looking like, when you wake up with the worst bed hair ever?
Yes.
That's just kind of how she is. And she just sits up, groaning, like,
You and I are alike. Ambrose is saying, just looking right at her.
Moira just kind of slowly turns to look at Amaros.
I'll say Amros hair is pretty much the same as Valadomi's picture she just posted.
It's that bit from
Frozen, yeah.
Frozen where Anna wakes up.
Yes. And then she goes to attempt to talk. But she can't.
Huh?
Oh no.
And you just slowly see panic. Like, at first confusion, and then just straight up panic as she just keeps trying to talk, but there's nothing.
Oh no.
And she's a spellcaster. Oh my god.
No, I think I know what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amros first gives this look of confusion, and then his eyes widen and just go, oh shit. Let's go talk to Rovers.
Mura's just gonna frantically start looking for a mirror. Is there a mirror in this room?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were looking in your inventory. Yeah. Just give me a investigation or a perception.
Boop-a-doop, boop-a-doop. I shall take perception.
Oh,
Oh, I
33.
thank you for that 20. Could have used that earlier.
Yeah, you have a look in one of the side tables of the cots that are in here, and yeah, you find a small, a very simply designed, but a sort of a mirror, like almost like a compact that just sort of it flips open, and yeah.
I open my mouth.
And you see your once pink tongue is now black.
Question.
Yes.
Am I still able to make like noises, like
You can make sort of grunts and noises like that, but you cannot speak.
Okay.
Which means currently no verbal spells can be cast.
Yay!
Yeah. I know, man.
This is just Morash just waving her arms around, pointing at Amaros and the door and basically everywhere.
Yeah, Ambrose is just grabbing her by the hand and just going, "We need to talk to the others. No way I'm handling this on my own." And just drags her along. Are you coming willingly or not?
Yes.
Okay. When you first leave the room, I don't know if you're awake or not, but you find that there isn't anyone currently downstairs, but you probably either hear or maybe smell coming from upstairs. Smell of
Galatea
food.
did say that she was going up to the kitchen.
Oh, okay. So you're awake then. Okay.
Yeah.
How the heck did I end up in?
I've
Where
zipped
did you
you.
go?
I've zipped you upstairs, so you have to go. I'll just grab you
I
as well.
somehow ended up in the same place as Tisfan and Kane.
I quickly moved you up.
I was moving myself and all of a sudden, oop!
Oh,
That
sorry.
works.
I just quickly whipped you up there. Yeah, it's a bit the way the map is done. You have to be there's certain points with the ladders and the stairs that will take you to the next level up. But I can just drag you straight there, so I just did that just for speed.
I see Kane, Tisvan, Mora, and me, but I see the bottom floor.
You should see the top floor now.
Just click on your character again.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
As soon as we emerge, I'm just gonna go, okay, you two are here. Where is Galatea and Yorhan?
Get out of the kitchen.
We have an issue.
What's going on?
Um,
And Moira's just gonna open her mouth and just.
Shit.
she can speak, and I think we might have that Chernobog thing starting to take effect on her. Great.
That was so quick.
You guys aren't doing this in front of Johan, are you?
I was asking where he was. No one answered.
He's downstairs still.
Yeah, he's in the cell.
He's in the cell?
Yeah, but
He's in with Eldrin Palcor.
Okay, I was like, he's not in the cell on his own, is he?
No,
What
with
happened
Eldrin.
while he was sleeping.
we
Okay,
didn't throw him in there. If that's what
it's
you mean.
probably. Hey, I don't know what kinky stuff you two get on with. I was just
Yeah, it's real
concerned.
kinky.
I'm concerned about your hand seeing this, considering what's happening with his sister. We really, really, really need to leave this town today.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's eat and figure this out. And Galatea starts like dishing up just like eggs and fried meats and little bits of salad and stuff. They don't really remember what people eat, so they just bring everything and puts it on the table.
Kane looks at the salad with contempt, but happily eats the fried meats and eggs.
I was just trying to think and decide whether owls would eat eggs, but I guess if they're not their own, then that's probably all right.
Oh, forgot about that. Maybe not eggs.
I mean, there are cannibalistic birds, so...
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe eggs are fine.
Yeah.
Well, owls do, don't they? They eat, like, all sorts of stuff.
They eat mice. So you have this breakfast that Galatea has prepared. Could you make me a performance or a survival? You can choose performance or survival for this breakfast that you've created.
Okay. I think both are rubbish. So
Oh.
survival's better.
Oh, natural 20.
Rubbish, she says. This is a delight.
Galatea leaves the kitchen with a few plates of food, and as modest as ever, tells you, just the few things that I've thrown together. The plate you served is a gourmet meal. The plate is done in such a way that you would expect to have been delivered the food from any top bougie restaurant in the towns that you may have frequented back in the mortal realm.
Completely by accident.
the plates are spotless. The food is prepared. It's hot. There's a drizzle of some sort of jus across the plate, and it is placed down with you, and the plate tilted slightly to the left with each time, just to position it perfectly, with a ring napkin ready for you, and you're all taken aback, momentarily forgetting what ails Moira, as you see this succulent meal that has been put in front of you.
What? Why are you all staring?
I'm just impressed by how well it looks.
Oh, well, you haven't tasted it yet, so I hope it's okay.
You have a point there, and Amorous is gonna take a bite.
And you take a bite, and as your eyes saw and you knew to be true, this meal is hearty, it is hot, and as soon as you take that first mouthful, you are just overcome with emotion. After such a hard time that you've had there, coming to a strange place, maybe not feeling settled, but this hearty meal makes you feel warm and almost at home with your comrades around you in this nice, secure building. It feels more like sitting in a home with friends or family. and you gain 2 temporary hit points.
What?
Heroes Feast? Thank you.
I was about to say what a way to spend a D20. Well, not 20, but
Now, I'm
yeah.
going to say for
Good.
a natural 20 on the cooking, I'm going to say that you get such a hearty meal. It's such a boost to your not only to your bellies but to your morale. That you those of you that you're eating breakfast gain all of you will gain a +2 temporary hit points.
Aw.
For a minute, Mora forgets that she's about to turn into a bear.
Ah.
Yeah, although your tongue is black, you still retain all of your taste buds, Moira. So you can taste this meal and enjoy it.
Yay.
While they get started, I'm just going to pop down with a couple of plates for the 2 people that deserve food downstairs.
Yeah, I suddenly thought you meant Elgin. Then I was like, don't waste their food on them. I was forgetting about Warren.
Yeah. Yeah. Tuck in, I guess. I'll be back in a minute. Stairs are probably easier. Not gonna try the ladder with 2 plates of food.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I can't go downstairs again.
I'll do it for you. You go. Should be on the right one now if you click on your character.
Yeah.
Don't forget you can use the arrow keys to move up, down, left, right as well, which might be easier than dragging.
Barn, hey.
Yes.
Sorry for the
hello.
little room.
Good morning. Galatea, is it? Sorry,
Yeah.
I was a little confused yesterday. I must admit I slept very well last night.
Good. I think you look a lot better today. I brought you some food.
Oh, thank you. It's after being locked in a cage for so many days, having breakfast in bed seems like a dream almost.
Well, yeah.
Thank you. It looks and smells wonderful. Thank you so much.
I hope I hope it is as it looks.
Yeah.
We're just upstairs, getting ready, but you just take it easy. We'll come get you.
Thank you. I will. Yes, I will lead this, and if I have the strength, I will come upstairs. And you can see, he is, although he has had a nice rest and he's had a bit of food, he is malnourished from being in the cage for so long.
No, don't worry about it. We'll come down and get you. Don't. Come.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm just letting you know where we are.
Of course. Thank you.
That's okay. Galatea will go over and knock on the you're on.
Good morning, Galatea. And he stands up, still keeping his eye on Eldrin, who is conscious and just laying in the bed, currently just still tied up and gagged.
Galatea will pointedly ignore the bastard in the bed. I brought you some food.
Oh, thank you. You don't have to. But it is much appreciated. Thank you very much.
I made some for everyone. We could do with it.
You made this yourself. It looks wonderful. Thank you.
I hope so. It was just what they had. Are you okay?
I'm a little tired, but I am good. I was able to catch some rest while we I was switching over with Kane.
I
This
thought-
our guest here has not been a problem so far. So
guessed. Yeah. We're just discussing our next steps upstairs. We'll come down when we're ready to go.
I don't believe we have to worry too much about this one. I think if we lock the door here, I think it is safe enough to leave them, and I can join you upstairs.
I think Kane might leave. Are you sure? I mean, we could barricade them in as well. He's found and gagged, right?
He is. Yeah. He
Sorry.
they are bound, gagged, and there is nowhere out other than this lockable door. So
He'll be fine.
he after he's not attempted to move or anything, even though that Johan and Kate have been in there. Kane's Johan's pretty sure that locking this door would mean that they would be stuck in this room. I don't think there's anywhere for them to go.
Yeah. Well, be it on his head.
Yes, it is on my head if they escape.
I think that will do.
And he locks the door. Please, let us return to your friends upstairs.
Yeah.
I could do with a change of scenery, to be honest. Looking at those four walls and him, it.
Yeah. Galatea stops and turns around to Johan again. Before we go, our little healer, she might be in a little trouble as well.
What kind of trouble? Is she injured from the fight yesterday?
Galatea shakes her head and looks up at Johan. She got bit. She can't speak. If you need any insurance that we're going to follow through, this is pretty much as good as it gets.
Johan, you can see the sort of a dark sort of shadow fall across him, and he nods in acknowledgement and says, I am truly sorry to have brought this curse upon your friends. If I'd known it would have caused this to be her fate as well as my own sister's, I would not have sent you into this danger.
We
I am
chose
sorry.
this. We chose this. This is not on you. We wanted to help.
It is my fault, though. I let the beast go in the first place. If I had only slaughtered it then, it would not have done this.
We barely got out. Okay, don't do this. And Galatea puts a hand on his chest, just try and get him to stop spiraling. It's okay. We'll figure this out. Just like we've always done.
When was she bitten? How must have been the day before last. It is quicker than my sister. had these effects. She had been bitten several days prior. I wonder why. Perhaps because she is smaller. Perhaps she is. Perhaps her metabolism has caused this to escalate. But my sister did not see the. Sorry.
I don't think the fighting helped either.
That is true. This maybe this has caused. If that is the case, I would. Without testing it, it's not easy to say, but perhaps it would be better that Mora does not exert herself too much then, in case this is something that has progressed it further and faster.
We'll keep an eye on her. Come, let's go up.
Yes. As you're going through, can you give me a perception check, please?
Okay. I don't like this. Nope, I see nothing.
Natural 1.
I'm busy with the ladder.
As you head towards the ladder, you notice that that Johan is greedily eating the sausage and eggs off his plate.
I'm very pleased. I'm very focused on that.
That's it. That's what you see. Cool. That's like. All right. So the two of you slowly make your way up the ladders. Johan skillfully balancing the plate of food and being able to climb the ladder. It's quite impressive that he's done that. But eventually you make it into the dining hall, and you were retained. You were all back together again.
Well, I would have gone up the stairs, but it didn't work with passing through.
You know those goats that can climb mountains that are basically like sheer walls?
Yeah, he didn't even use his hands. He just used his hooves on the side like that to climb the ladders. No arms required. He just carried on eating.
As if it was nothing.
And when Johan comes in, he looks towards you, Moira. He doesn't come over. He looks a little bit sheepishly towards you, and he sits at the other end of the table.
I think Mora sort of avoids eye contact. But just kind of like notices that he looks at her and then he just kind of keeps eating.
Hi. How is it? And Galatea starts eating, finally.
Who was that directed at? Sorry.
Everyone.
This is no paltry priest's meal. I'll tell you that much. This may be some of the best food I've had before I even came here.
Oh.
I don't care much for the green stuff, but the meat, the eggs. Oh, this is. I think this is second only to my own mother's cooking.
Well, that's a shame because the green stuff is what gave you the +2. So
That's Kane accepts this. He's fine with that. He doesn't. The one balance he doesn't believe in is a balanced diet, I'm afraid.
It's not very holy of you.
Tisfin, with his mouth, since his mouth is full, will just nod, point to Kane, and then give a thumbs up to Galatea to indicate that.
I agree.
Yes.
Yes, what he said. Nice. Oh, yeah.
It was very delightful, I would have to say. Ambrose says he's trying to hide the fact that he has crumbs all over his face.
And, the ingredients are a little different, I think. I think that might have helped. Good. Well, where are we? What do we do today? We need to get going.
We need to find a way to lift this curse, and fast.
Yeah. I filled in your hand a little. And they look to Moira and gives her a little nod, as if both to say, sorry, and I did this for you.
Mara. Is just kind of trying to blend into the chair.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sorry we couldn't keep you safe. Oh, here. Galatea will fish out a piece of parchment and find some sort of tool to write with. And hand it down to Moira.
Yeah, there were in Eldrim's office that you had been in earlier, and I think Tisvan was searching in there before. There is a writing desk in there that has parchment and pens, quills.
Can I go and grab some?
Yeah.
Stock up.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. It was there's enough in there. They would have been writing messages backwards and forwards between the princess, so there would be quills, and they probably have a very easy stash of quills, seeing as there's lots of owls with feathers everywhere. You can probably take as many as you like.
Parchments
And parchments, yeah. Yep, there'll be parchment in there as well.
About how many can I grab?
Let's roll a dice. Four.
Oh, nice. Thank
Four
you.
pieces of parchment that are usable.
I'll give one to. No, I'll give two to Moira. And one of the many, many quills.
Mora smiles.
No worries. Phew. Right, what?
There were two bottles of ink as well. So.
Oh, cool. I was messing with the doors.
That's me. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. It wasn't someone coming in.
Just so on edge now.
Ambush!
Not again.
We've had enough of these holy pricks.
So, now that you've had your breakfast, what are your plans? What is your next step?
Yeah, that was what Galatea was asking.
Tisvan will rummage in his bag and bring out the flyer that we received from the apothecary. Put it out on the table and basically say, this should be our next goal.
That's north, right? Everything is north, as far as I remember. I still I would still like your help. I'm looking for my friend as we go. Galatea sort of glances over at your hand and then just avoids looking at him for the rest of that.
I mean, of course we're gonna keep an eye out. And I mean, we probably don't want to take too many detours considering Moira's situation at the moment, and as well as Sorhana's.
I need to go as quick as I can.
Yes. But there is also one place I like to check out, potentially along the way. I think. All I know is that it's to the north. If we see it, I like to take a look at it. If we don't, then potentially I can find it later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I just need some information from Paleclaw before we leave. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, I will sit that one out if that's all right with you.
That's fine.
Want me to join you? Or I will not leave you alone with them.
Might be for the best so I don't accidentally kill the bastard.
If you do, I provide the flame.
Tisvan.
Yes?
I hope you don't mind me asking, but you've had some extreme reactions to these people so far. Do you know them?
I know of them. To make a, well, short story short, I found out that these are the people, or maybe not these specific ones, but from this order, are the ones that attacked my village. Well, attacked is an understatement. Slaughtered is more like it.
I'm sorry. I had no wonder then.
So that is why I should have someone with me while I talk to him.
That kind of explains why I felt like you've been a little bit on edge whenever we've been around the guards.
Yeah. Anyway, and then Tisvan will stand up and start moving towards the door.
Oh,
The one.
well, before you go, we've been traveling together for a little while, and it seems like we're gonna keep doing this. And she'll look around for confirmation.
There's strength in numbers.
That's my plan, thus far at least.
I see no benefit in splitting off, at least.
Moira?
If Kane kind of looks at Galatea for like a solid 3 seconds, just kind of like chewing her statement in his brain, and then finally he looks at her and says, Galatea, if what you're trying to ask is if we still want you around, the answer is yes.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't, but yeah, thank you. What I was gonna say was, if we need to travel together and trust each other, I think we need to talk more, and run things by each other, because yesterday was a mess and we were all just confused. And I think if we actually talked through what we're doing, maybe things will go a little better. I'm not the brightest, and I sort of think of the immediate next bit, and then it's blurry from there. So any input would be helpful. And I think we should just, talk as much as we can. Sorry, Moira.
I couldn't resist to laugh at that.
There's a little laugh. I'm really sorry.
Can I just say that I find it ironic that the moment you pointed out Moira as well, my cat started rustling with some torn up papers. Which just felt like in my head I see a frustrating writing in the papers.
What were you saying, Moira?
Moira is kind of frantically writing on the paper.
Galatea will wait.
And then kind of just tap the table towards Tisvin. Trying to get Tisvin's attention.
Tisvin will turn and walk back towards Moira.
Moira is gonna show the paper to Tisvin, and it says, "I also have questions for the thing. Can come ? I write, you speak."
Sure.
Thumbs up.
So the three of us will check on whatever the heck is a triad thing.
Yeah.
I don't really know. What will the rest of you guys do?
Prepare to leave, I guess. I have something I need to do before we go. It won't take long.
Can I also make one suggestion before we actually leave?
Go ahead.
Since Bula most likely is not going to be able to travel with us, let's at least wish her a quick recovery. And let her know that we will be leaving town for a while.
I think Kane stops chewing if we're still eating. I assume we're still eating.
Yeah, I'm still eating.
Kane stops chewing for a couple of seconds as you talk about that, kind of looking down at his plate quite wistfully. And then when he sees that you all notice that, he kind of quickly begins chewing again.
Maybe one of us should go and check on her, to see if she's even up for company. Okay.
He's choking on food as you say that.
You know her best, so.
Yeah, yes, yeah, that makes sense. Would you mind if I took her some of this?
Of course not.
Thank you. I- I'll I'll uh I'll finish the rest of mine with her. If you'll excuse me.
Wait, can stop running off. I just want to know what we're doing first.
He's embarrassed. You embarrassed him.
Yeah, I don't care.
Well, at least
Everyone's
Bula will
leaving
know
while
that
we're
Kane is
talking.
being fed.
I am talking.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It was gonna champion. Right. Johan, do you think it's okay to go through town at all, or do we need to be careful? Do we need to walk with you? What do we do?
I don't think you need to worry too much. I have already spoken to the townsfolk who in the center of town, and with Borin to corroborate what the Scout God did to them. I don't think you'll have much problem with them.
Okay. Well, then I propose that the three of you who want to go and have a chat, you go and have a chat. I will finish my errand, uh, and Kane will go and talk to Bula, and Johan, Kane, and I. Before that, we'll get Warren back to his grandmother. I can't remember.
He's got yes.
I think it's about time.
I will carry him if necessary, or help him walk back. He is still frail after his torment. But it is probably best that if we do take him back, we go via the town, so I can put his words can be put with mine to assuage any lingering doubt of what the Skullwood God have done.
That's what I thought might help. Okay. Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah.
Sounds like we have a plan.
Okay. Can we keep having plans before we do things from now on?
We can try to get better at it, at least.
Yeah, just an attempt at least.
We can try, but I can't promise anything.
Okay.
To be honest, you guys are actually the first time I actually hang out with people besides my sister, so I'm kind of new to trying to work together with people.
I'm in the same place, really. I've only ever traveled with my father. I don't I don't do with people. I've been in caravans before, but not like this.
When Galatea says father, Tisban will look. Not suspiciously is not the correct term, but will look towards her. Like he wants to say something, but decides not to.
Does she notice?
I mean, Tisvan isn't subtle by any means, but...
Oh, what? Did I say something?
If you want to roleplay, you can either roll perception to see if you see anything that would alert you to it, and if you're trying to be sneaky, then I guess about it, or trying to remain nonchalant about this, then I guess this one you would roll a stealth.
Oh, no, Tisvan isn't trying to be stealthy. This is more like a small shock because he suddenly had a thought. So just by reaction, he looks over.
I'll roll and you can tell me how much Galatea will see. 10, perfectly middling.
I mean, if you're not trying to hide it, then I would imagine that you probably notice that this one looks across at you.
I'm assuming that Galatea will notice, but have no idea what that means. So, what? Oh, what is it? This one.
Just had a sudden thought, but it's not important at the moment. We can discuss it later.
Oh, okay.
It's something that I think can be discussed on the road towards Pigwort.
Okay. That's probably a good idea. Right then, let's get going.
Sounds good.
Finish up my last few maths falls.
That's
Maths falls.
Yes. Well, anyone who ate, you've now got a +2 temporary hit.
If you don't know how to put that in, if you double click your person next to the hit points, there's a little space. And Kane can't do it.
Oh yes. Let me do
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Roll on March.
Zone. And break.
Okay, so Tisvan and Amros, you is it just you two heading to question the Eldrin?
No, Mora was joining us too.
And Moira as well.
Wait, wasn't the cell up here?
It's downstairs.
Downstairs.
And then you Galatea, and Kane and Johan are going to with Borin as well are going to go into town. Was that right?
Yep.
I believe so.
Okay. All right. So we will start with those going to talk to Eldrum. I'll just move Borin outside so I remember that he's going with you. Did anyone go down the ladder? You were going down the stairs, aren't you? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. I'll say that Johan gave you the key before you go to the cell and it's locked. So. So you go down into the cellars, and you find Eldrin. Open the door for you. There you go. You find Eldrin still there, still tied up, or the Dryad that you'd seen Eldrin turn into once they had been defeated, and they're still bound, and they just look towards the door as they open it.
Time for us to have a little chat. And, well, since the cell is pretty small, Tisvan will grab Eldarim and drag him out towards I think it was a library.
It's now a very tidy, very spotless library that Moira has cleaned up and made beautiful.
Oh yeah, that was another
Right.
wasn't it?
While you guys were all resting, Moira was tidying the library. But you can easy enough move them into the library / interrogation room.
Wonderful.
In their more weakened form, you have no problems lifting and maneuvering this Dryad who is bound up. So,
Is Amaros joining us, or is he still over by the cells?
I'm joining you.
Yep. So, Tisvan will... He'll remove the gag, but he won't be very careful about it.
Mm.
Now, you have some options here. You can either choose to answer our questions. Nothing too bad will happen to you. Or not from us, at least. I cannot promise what the townsfolk will do. Or we can do this the hard way. Your choice.
And what is it that I can do for you?
I forgot how pissed off I get every time you open his mouth.
From me, it's from your reaction of when I mentioned the material plane and your people going there. Why were they going to the material plane? And who is in charge?
Who is in charge? Well, I would think that it was blatantly obvious that the princess is in charge of all things here.
Good, then I have my next target. Now, why?
We'll just have to ask her. I have no idea. The princess doesn't give her underlings information of such kind. I just happen to know that she sent people to the mortal realm.
I would like to try to get a reading of this. Can I roll insight check?
Of course, yeah.
That,
12.
eh.
What are you trying to gain? When you look at them when they're answering these questions, what are you trying to figure out?
I mean, if he's hiding it, if they're hiding anything,
Mm.
like leaving things unsaid.
You don't sense any that they're lying at this point. They seem to be telling you the truth. Maybe they're not divulging all information, but they you've only asked them one question so far, so. But you don't sense any like lies immediately.
Okay, I start scribbling on my paper and give the paper to Tisfed.
Tisvan will take it, but not look at it just yet. He will ask, my final question before we come to my friends here. Why would your people attack a Shadar-kai settlement? What has my people ever done to you?
I haven't the faintest idea. If your people happen to be in the way, then I suppose my Scarwood Guard companions would have tossed them out on their ear, I suppose. I doubt it would have anything specifically to do with you being Shadar-kai. It was probably more that you were just an irritant that they needed to get rid of. No offense.
At this point, I would say that both Amaros and Moira can see Tisvan start to reach for his glaive.
Just him talking had me reach for my fucking spells, mate.
Moira
I'm
is,
sorry, did I touch a nerve?
Moira is desperately like grabbing onto Tisfed's arm.
I forgot you mortals are so sensitive. We're made of tougher stuff here in the Fey.
Amaros snaps his finger, igniting a flame in his hand, and just holding it right in front of his face, going, "Do you want to put that to the test? twig fight.
The dryad looks at you, sort of scowls in your direction, Amros, but they turn their head away, but don't say anything further.
I'll take that as a no. And he just snaps it out.
Isman will turn and look away for a bit, taking a couple of deep breaths. And then he will look at what Moira wrote.
Okay, I'm gonna actually DM it to you.
All right.
For authenticity.
Fair enough. Now, to my compatriots' question. What is the corruption of the surrounding land around this building? What is corrupting it, and why?
Oh, you noticed that, did you? You've got sharp eyes, haven't you, little one? Well, I suppose in my current condition, there's not much I can do to stop you finding out at this point anyway. Our assignment here was not only to find this Chernobog, which was more merely a guise of why we were here in the first place, but the princess, she needs this land. We were sent here to take control of it, if it's that way. If that is the correct term. Oh, 1 second, my headphone has just turned off.
Did he have to say it in that voice?
Bear with me.
He has advanced technology that non-dryads could only dream of.
Right, I can hear again.
Apparently.
I can hear again. These headphones, I need to get a replacement. Anyway, right. Yes, we were tasked with taking over the land here, and the princess does like to keep an eye on her, even the most lowly of towns in her princedom. We needed a point where the princess could keep a watch, and the tower that was here in town was a perfect place. But it was too much of a, what is the word? It was too far from her grasp currently to be able to reach out and control this land. And so there was a focal point that we needed to extend her abilities to keep an eye on this area. And the corruption that you speak of in the ground is merely the byproduct of that. The tower was her focus.
What does this corruption do?
As I said, it allows her to keep an eye on the place. Her eyes and ears are now in the tower, and whatever happens here, she is more than likely to know about.
So then she will know to expect us, then.
Oh, she knows about you, of course, of course. As soon as you were here, and as soon as I met your compatriots that first time by the tree, I was worried at first that they had already guessed the secret that lies within, but I must have given you too much credit.
Moira is gonna take the paper from Tisman and frantically like very hastily, which is very uncharacteristic of her when it comes to writing. She's usually somewhat elegant in that department. However, and then she just shoves the paper back to Disfin.
What's the matter, little one? Cat got your tongue?
Watch it.
Why is the same corruption turning up in the mortal realm?
Oh, I couldn't say. I assume that the other Scarwood Guard that was sent there, just carrying on her work as we were here. It's not so much of a corruption. It's more just her asserting her influence, stretching her wings, you might say.
Writing once again.
According to Moira, her influence, as you so like to call it, is killing her home.
Oh dear. I am very sorry, the Dryad says with a big, very crooked smile on their wooden face.
This one will turn to Moira and Amaros. Do we have any more questions?
Moira points up one finger or paw digit thing.
Yeah.
I do not at the moment. Because I think anything coming out of this a-hole's mouth is gonna just make me want to toast him.
Oh,
So I'll
that's
leave it up to
very
you two.
hurtful. I've been more than forthcoming with information for you, seeing as how cruelly you have treated me.
Says the one that plays with memories.
Oh, you'll have to forgive me. It's something of a hobby of mine.
Gives
I can
paper
show
Heard
you
of
if you
consent?
like.
Also, another thing. It's a matter of how you put words. You have a very good tendency to see yourself as superior than anyone else. It makes you easy to trigger people's anger.
I know, it's probably one of my best points.
That's a negative.
Moira has given paper to Disfin.
Okay. Final question. You are a creation of nature. Why would you seek to destroy what gave birth to you?
As I said, I do not seek that. That is not in my doing. The princess has her own agenda. I am merely following along with what she has asked me to do. And the fact that I am a creature of nature, as you say, is like comparing the Eladrin to your common garden elf. I am from the Feywild. A far superior tree bore me. I'm sure the mortal plane has pretty trees, but nothing compared to us. Now, if you don't mind, I've answered your questions and I'm rather tired. You can let me go whenever you're ready.
Mora is very frustrated.
I don't remember promising to let you go. Now did I?
Well, let me
And
put
then
it this
Ti-
way.
And then Tisman will gag him again, or her.
Well, they're about to say, well, put it on, and then you shove the cloth back in their mouth.
Thank you.
Oh, what was that? I didn't hear you.
All right.
As you put the go reach forward to put the gag back in their mouth, can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Oh, you bastard.
I see he's going for that memory steal or something again.
$15.
Yeah. No, nothing happens.
Thank fuck.
And then they look a little bit frustrated as you shove the part where
They're
back in their
And
mouth.
what are we?
All right.
Yep.
Well, while that is happening, Galatea and Kane and Johan is piggybacking Borin currently on his back because he's trying to help him stave his strength. But you are currently walking down towards the town.
Yep.
And I think Johan will suggest that perhaps they can head towards Borin's grandmother's place, but it might be worth walking through the middle of town for it to sort of maybe have a brief conversation with anyone who may still be, or at least to take Borin into town so that he can tell the strangers that he had, strangers, the townsfolk that he knows, and can corroborate the story that Johan said earlier. In fact, Borin is eager to get back to his grandmother, but also is eager to report back to his employer. Having been having been sent to the Hollisborough house in the first place by them.
Oh. Mm. Okay.
That was Celophin Norel, by the way, who is the owner. Yeah, owner of the Lone Ewe Mill.
Logging. Yeah. I'm liking that guy. Listen to this.
You don't like any of my NPCs. What's going on?
What?
Excuse you?
What? Excuse me. I think you might have understood a few things. Right.
Other actually is totally head over heels over a certain other character.
Hmm.
They don't know that.
Of course she is. It's giggles.
That's it.
I love giggles.
All right. So
It's amazing.
I won't be able to switch because you guys are going to be. Can I separate you guys on the map? Let me have a quick look. I think I can only have one map active at a time, unfortunately. So I don't know if you will all be able to see it if you move off the map. So we'll just theatre of the mind that you've walked into town, essentially.
Hold on, my cat is yelling at me for some reason. I'll be just a second.
No worries.
Would it be best if we say that Kane goes and has the conversation with Bula, but me and Luna perhaps record something that could be played next session?
Sure, yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine.
And then she has a chance to kind of voice Bula if she wants to.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you can certainly do that.
I fully approve of that personally.
Yep.
Yeah, I asked her if she'd be up for that, and she seemed into it.
Perfect. All right, no worries. Okay, so
I'm back.
back. Perfect. going to see if I can activate just this one screen for you guys. Let me see.
We should be able to
But
switch map
this one?
and then just have people by the side.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I can call you guys in individually. I think there was a way to do it, but I don't remember.
I know someone said that you can have all the tokens on the sort of starter screen. I don't know what that means, but then you can just pull them into whatever map.
Yeah, I don't. I've got you guys on the map. I'm trying to remember. I'm sure I've done it before. Pull to scene. Maybe it's that one. Let me see if this works for Galatea.
Oh, something's happening.
Something's happening? Okay, good.
What's Moira shocked about?
All right. So, can you guys see that map, or is everything gone black, just black for you?
No, it looks like the town.
You're in the town? Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So, and Kane, can you see the town as well?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And then you other guys, you still seeing the house?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. All right, so that works. Lovely. Okay, so so while you're interrogating Eldrum, you guys have like made your way into town. Kane, are you going to go straight to the to talk to Bula?
Yeah, I think he would.
Okay,
He's still got a breakfast in his hands and breakfast for her.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. So you will say you head off then in that direction, across the town. One thing, actually, yeah, give me a perception check. Both of you,
Okay.
Galatea and Kane.
If I can get you to do that for me, then
Oh, of course, yes.
thank you.
I see nothing today.
3
I got sleep in my eyes, I guess.
and a. What was that? Oh, it didn't see it. Why is it not? Oh, yes, it is showing that. 11. Okay. All right. You are sort of focused on the people around you. I think Galatea and Johan, and maybe talking to Boren as you come into town. You're more sort of focused on the people and making sure that they are that they all seem all right and they believe in what you're saying.
Yeah.
And Kane, as you're going through further into town, you're sort of covering more of the area. You notice, Kane, that where there had been guards around in the town centre, there doesn't seem to be any guards there now. There was only one guard that you saw actively just as you were passing by, heading towards the inn that you'd set up before, and they seem to be standing still outside the front of the tower in the middle of town. Other than that, you don't seem to see any other guards now.
It's probably best that we don't try to engage in the middle of town. Maybe we think of a way to gain access to that tower upon our return instead.
Are you talking to us? I thought you'd gone.
I didn't know if this was before I sharded off to go and...
No, you would only have seen this once you'd left the party because you were going further across town because they've sort of stopped at the town centre. So these can be your internal monologue.
Yeah, basically what I said then. Kane thinks it might be best to not try and engage the guard in combat in the middle of town, and instead, when we return to town at some point, if they haven't already been dealt with by the townsfolk, then we can get involved.
Okay. But yeah, so Galatea, you and Johan and Boren come into the center of town. There are several people around, milling around. The market was packed up and has left. But there are a few townsfolk coming around. There are a few people who come over and with questions for Johan. But Boren hasn't been seen for several days, maybe a week now, I think it is. And so they comment immediately that you're like, oh, I haven't seen you for a long time as well. And a small sort of gathering, kind of, other people who are suddenly interested about what's going on over here, sort of gather around, and soon you're sort of surrounded by a group of people who are asking questions about what happened earlier and where's Boren been and what's going on.
I'll let Boren talk and sort of encourage him to, and I'm gonna look out for the lady I owe a favor.
Do you remember what her name was?
Nope, I remember no names.
Do you remember what she looked like?
No, but Galatea probably does.
Roll me an intelligence. I mean, 1 second. The what are we getting? Yeah, intelligence history. Let's see if you remember who it was that you had promised that to.
What's with the rolls
10.
today?
Yeah, you think you remember. It was like a fawn woman, I think, or a satyr. They had horns of some sort, something like. I'd probably recognize them again if you saw them.
Oh, okay. Well, if I see someone I think I recognize.
Okay, well, now give me a perception check to see if you can see them.
Okay. No, I don't.
No,
I
you
make
don't.
really good food and see nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you kind of think, you probably recognize them if you look at, but as you look around, you don't see any faces that are familiar, and so yeah, you don't see them currently in town.
I think my delicious food might have made me go blind or something.
So we'll just to not take too long on this, but yeah, Boren basically explains to them. They can see that he's malnourished, and that he corroborates what Johan has said, and the fact that he's been held hostage, essentially in the Hallowspire house. The Owlin have been not very nice to him, and that during his time there, they had questioned him about the reason that he'd gone there, which was to tell them about the Dryad in the forest, and that he had gone there seeking aid to help the townsfolk who were lumberjacks and lumberjanes who had been there, but had some who had perished to the hands of the Dryad, and they seem to be some of the questions seem to be they seem to be quite interested about the Dryad for some reason.
I'll tell them what I know about the leader of the god actually being the Dryad, but not one of the like a weird corrupted thing. And pointing out that I don't specifically know if they're connected at all. And please don't rush into any conclusions.
Awesome. Do you mention anything about the Cellophane, about the owner of the Lone Ewe Mill?
I will let Boren steer that one because Galatea does not care.
So, I suppose what I'm specifically mentioning is that, and you may not remember this because I can't remember if you were there at the session. You may have missed out on this one, but essentially the Dryad that you spoke to in the forest, I can't remember what I call them now, but the large leader of some sort, the ancient Dryad, had said that basically they wanted an amends to the slaughter of what they consider the spiritual trees in the forest that had been taken and damaged by the lumberjacks that were there, and that basically they wanted in payment or as a what's the word?
Recompense?
Yeah, recompense or to basically draw a line under this kind of like tit for tat kind of like you kill one of ours or we kill one of yours. They wanted the leader of the which you assumed is the lumberjacks to give up their life in payment. And so that's a knowledge you will have. It's whether you divulge any of that information while they're talking about it, because Borin will quite happily, say, "Yeah, I went there, and a Seraphim sent me there, and we've been having troubles with the Dryad in the thing, and they've killed some of our people, and I was trying to get the guards to help us."
Okay, well, yeah. If he says, "Oh, they killed some of my people," Galatea will absolutely cut in and go, "Well, you killed some of theirs too." And then they'll tell about the chat that we had, but in as much as this is what they're demanding, it seems like they might be able to be convinced otherwise if someone very gentle goes to talk to them and maybe offer to help heal what has been hurt. And it's in the best interest of the town to get along. And we've already filled in your hand about this, haven't we?
You did, yeah. The how it was left was that it was basically an ultimatum that was the Dryad wanted the life of the Seraphim in recompense for the damage and the deaths that had been caused to the mainly not just sort of the normal trees, but the specifically the trees that were in the grove, the ancient trees that were massacred and damaged. And so I think it was there was a conversation between other people. As like Amros, I think, was doing a lot of the talking as well at the time. But I don't think you were there in the session, so it's a bit difficult. But essentially, I think, and I think Kane as well might be able to corroborate that you sort of suggested that a life for a life, we shouldn't really do that. And I think also you were sort of saying, it's only a tree, compared to a more a human life type thing. And the tree didn't really like that. Yeah, they didn't really like that. And so
doesn't agree with that at all.
Yeah, and I think they were basically saying like, maybe you're right, maybe it's not balanced. Perhaps we should take the whole town, and kill everyone in the town, or instead of this one person. And I think it was left like they might attack eventually the town if they don't get what they want, or some other bargain can't be made. So I think that was kind of what they insinuated at the time. It depends how much you want to reveal at this point.
Well, Galatea is going to warn them that this is not going to end well if they don't make amends, and points out that they were warned to stay away, went into a holy grove, and killed them anyway. And that's not how you go about solving conflicts. And we can't stay to solve this, so we trust you to do what's best. Otherwise, we'll be back in a few days, I guess, maybe. And we can help out more there. But I trust your hand to do the best thing for the town.
I think when you mention about the fact that they went in and they cut down the trees and stuff when they've been warned, I think Borin will say at that point, yeah, we were just following orders.
I know.
Seraphim told us to go and cut it. We knew it was dangerous, but I don't know if he knew how dangerous it was.
You need to talk to him about this because he's responsible. And they want him for that.
So do you specifically say that they've asked for him to sacrifice himself in order to stop this?
No, I'm just saying that,
Okay.
that they want him to pay for it.
Okay, so that they want him to pay for it, but not specifically how they want him to
not
pay for
going
it.
into specifics.
Okay.
Just like
Okay, so basically, the crowd are basically very worried after they've sort of said this information, and they know that it's Seraphim that needs to sort this out, basically. So they're all kind of like, oh, we better go and talk to him. We better get this sorted out. If the Dryad needs to speak to him, he needs to sort it out. It must be his. Yeah, it's his responsibility. So the crowd are actually give me a If you're telling the truth with all this information, I guess it's a persuasion, so they can believe what you've been telling them, that this is the case.
okay.
Or if you want to give them some other information that is not quite 100% the truth, then I guess you give me a deception. So,
I mean, both are rubbish. I'm just going to tell the truth.
but if you let me know which one you're doing, so I know if you're trying to lie to them or
No,
I
don't have a reason to lie.
No. Okay, cool. Then just give me a persuasion. Just to see how many people are kind of buying. Oh, natural 20, yes. So they're all 100% like, oh, it's Seraphin's fault. Then it's definitely him that did it. Okay, cool. He can sort it out.
I didn't
Perfect.
say that specifically. Just
And that's exactly what you say as they all march off towards where Seraphim lives. No, so they basically between Johan, yourself, and Borin, giving them all this information. The townsfolk are now fully aware and believe, with all of you being there together, that there is this impending issue with the Dryad. And they believe all the information about what happened at the Scarwood Guard, and they also now know that Seraphim is in some way connected and needs to they need to sort this out before it gets any worse.
Out again, that please offer a way to heal what has been hurt.
Yeah,
and maybe that will solve things.
And
please stop fighting.
And I can't remember. Have you guys talked to Seraphim before and told him this information?
No, we haven't.
No, you haven't. Okay, perfect. All right, lovely.
I've been one of those going, shouldn't we speak to him? And then we've been busy dealing with everything else.
No.
No worries. Okay, so all the townsfolk know about this. Boron knows about this, but Seraphim is completely unaware currently. Cool. All right. That sounds good. I like it. Why
don't you just imagine an angry mob marching to his house?
That's why I was asking whether you said specifically that if Ulrich has to give up his life to save the town, then the mob might go and do that. But you've said that you just said that he needs to sort it out. He's got some connection to it, but he'll be able to fix it. So, awesome. All right. Well, I guess while you guys have done that, we can pop back over to Palaspire House. You guys by that time will have interrogated Eldrum. What is your plan? What are you going to do now? Were you planning to hold up here at the house, waiting for the others to come back, or are you following on with them? What was the deal?
I assume Tisvin is going to shove the thing into the jail.
Tisvin will actually turn to Amaros and Moira and ask, should we bring this thing with us, or should we leave them here?
He's talking. Yay.
To be honest, I'm not sure what's even the safest option with this prick. On one hand, I feel like just shoving him in a cell. Another would probably imagine us getting a headache just dragging him along. And a part of me just wants to incinerate him, not gonna lie.
Moira starts writing on a page that says, for the time being, sell, wait for others, let your hand deal, question mark.
That is probably one of the better options, to be honest, because I'm all for burning him at this point. I'm not lying here.
All right, let's do that. So Tisvan will drag Pale Claw back to her cell. I believe it's
Yeah.
you've said it.
Yeah, it's a cell basically. Like a room that's been made up to be a jail cell.
Yeah. And then just close and lock the door.
Okay. I'll drag him in there. Still bound and gagged, yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. All right.
All right. We should probably go and try to meet up with the others.
I do actually have an errand I should tackle in the town, to be honest. Nothing major, really. I kind of promised one of the vendors that I would have a cup of tea with them.
Moira raises an eyebrow.
It's a date.
They wanted an hour of my time, and I suggested doing it over a cup of tea, and they said yes. It was for a trade for an item I needed.
Moira does the ah.
All right, then we head back into town.
Game is paused.
Oh, I'll just if you're going to go back into town, I will just move you straight to the new map.
Yep.
So, let me just where are we? Players. Moira, this one. Okay, I think should bring you across.
Just waiting for you to load.
Cool.
There we are.
Hey.
Hey.
Cool. All right. So I think by the time you've done that, and Galatea and Johan and everyone they've had this conversation, as you're walking down the street, you'll see that in town there seems to be a reasonable size gathering of people in the market square, and you see Galatea, Johan, and all standing there. And obviously having a conversation that the group seems compliant and doesn't seem to be that they're at any risk or danger to themselves. They seem to be going along with the crowd, and so you any worries you have that the crowd might be, or the people of the town may be still upset or unsure about your part in the Skullwood Girls' downfall seems to have been diminished now, so it looks like everyone seems to be getting on okay.
Even so, Amoros is not approaching the first thing you do, because last time he opened his mouth, it did not go too well.
But by the time you catch up, I think the conversation that you guys have had with the rest of the townsfolk will probably be wrapping up at that point, and you'll have discussed all those things, and they seem to be listening to Johan and as the not the official Burgermeister, but he seems to command that same respect due to his father's previously being in taking over town. So
Hey, is anyone with the bastard?
We locked the bastard back up in the cell.
Okay. Okay. What if there's any more guards that turn up? Do you think you'll be okay? Galatea looks around just to see if there's anyone immediately around them.
To be honest, I did not think of that, but well, they can't tell the princess more than she already knows, apparently.
What do you mean?
According to what Paleclaw told us, that tree that they were guarding so fiercely, as well as the corruption it's spreading all over town, is a way for the princess to have eyes and ears in this area, to watch over everything and control things.
Galatea looks around very nervously now, and then glances over to the tree, trying not to look at it directly.
Yeah, give me a perception check with advantage. Anyone who's in this area looking over at the tower.
Jesus. Some odd rolls today. I rolled a 1 and a 10. I don't think it's either 20 or 10 or less.
Okay, so
My cat managed to jump on my hand as I clicked. I rolled twice.
That's all right. That's good. Yeah. So you all notice this. It's now that you've the corruption that you've seen in the ground that was from the Hallerspar house, and in fact, you probably would have seen this. The three of you walking down, having had that conversation. You notice that the purple kind of moss and stuff that was growing quite thickly outside the Hallerspire house. You notice now more so. Perhaps you'd seen it a little bit before, but had not really sort of taken note of it, being in the Fey realm, and things are obviously different. There seems to be now that you've walked the path, definitely a sort of a line going of this moss growing down the path, essentially to the center of town. Around this well, you see quite a bit of this sort of purple fungi and moss growing around it, in between the cobbles especially, and it seems to go up further up all the way to the tower of the tree itself, and the purplish glow of the flame from above. Basically, it all synergizes together. You notice that this is somehow connected.
Moira starts gathering a couple of fistfuls of this moss and stuffing it into her pockets.
Right. Okie dokie. 1 second.
Are you sure that's a good idea? What if she can see you from your pocket?
Moira just kind of shrugs.
I mean, she's here anyway.
1 second. I'm just looking for something. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. That's right. Right. Can you give me, Moira, a Constitution saving throw, please?
Ah, hell!
She has enough on her plate already.
We haven't learnt from touching other weird
7.
7.
Okay. Yeah. As you pick up this moss, and you break a bit off, and you hold it on your hand. As you're stuffing it into your pouch, and to like sort of have a look at later on, you notice that the sort of pinky purpley, like violet sort of not spores, but kind of like the moisture that was on this moss has sort of like stained your hands a little bit. Not too deeply, but there's definitely, like you said, it's difficult to like rub off. You need some water or something to kind of get this off of your hands. It's kind of a little bit sticky. And you are poisoned for the next minute, which means you have disadvantage on your ability checks and saving throws for the next minute.
Oh, what did you do?
Mora's just kind of staring at her hands, just.
See, that can't be good. Can we stop touching things we don't know anything about now?
Mora's just gonna start frantically like pointing at the moss, at the like corrupted stuff, and then at the she's like carrying the parchments that she used to write, and just like moss paper. And like,
I don't have a.
Moira, the kleptomaniac.
Does anyone else have some water to help clean this? I guess there's rain. Can you just try and like wipe it off in that puddle on the grass over there? That looks clean.
Tisvan will rummage through his pack and pull out a water skin with water and hand it over to Moira.
And Mora's just gonna start, I guess, washing her hands.
It takes a little bit of scrubbing, but you do manage to kind of wash this purpley violet sticky residue off your hands. I will say that takes about a minute to do, and so the poison effect wears off.
Yeah, I wasn't too worried about that, actually.
But yeah, you get rid of this thing, doesn't stain your hands.
Okay, well, we better get going. It's time we get Boren back. His grandmother.
All right, let's go.
While you guys are doing that, I just have a errand to do myself, but I'll rejoin you over at the Burgermeister house later, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, so I can't remember which house it was now. We'll say it's this one here.
I'm trying to remember it too. I think it is either that one or that one.
Yeah, it was when you first came into town, so I would imagine off the pass it was probably that one there. So Boren will go with you. Your hand is going to stay in town, just to answer any more questions that people have, and just to, make sure that he's making sure that the people of the town, now that the Skullwood Guard are not there, that they're not panicking. There's no, they feel safe, and that they know that somebody is in charge, and don't go off half-cocked and start panicking about what's going to happen to the town. So he'll remain there currently. And Ross, did you say you were going to Nico's Nax? Or
yes.
Are you going with the rest of the body? Okay.
I'm going to Nikos.
Yeah, which is over here. And then the rest
Where
of
was
you... it's here.
Okay, be careful. Bye.
No worries.
Cool.
Don't die.
All right. So you guys are heading back to Boren. You heading to Nico's. Kane, you are heading back to the inn to talk to Bula, and Johan is remaining in town. And as you guys get to Borin, he points you in the direction of the house, and as he knocks weakly on the door opens, and you see the older satyr woman that you had met when you first entered the town, and wordlessly she just reaches out her arms and grabs Borin and brings him into a loving embrace, and she just strokes the hair on the back of his head, and he says, "Oh, my dear boy, where have you been? You worried your old grandmother so much. Please, thank you for bringing him back to me. Thank you so much."
It's the least we could do. You helped us when we first got here.
Oh, he's so thin. Please come in. We need to feed you up. What has happened to you, my dear? And I think that's where we'll leave it for tonight.
Okay.
Aww.
Woo!
With the party split in multiple directions across the town,
That's fine.
we will pick it up here next time, I think, and we can follow up on all the different things that you are about to do or planning to do next after this point. But yes, well done. I hope you enjoyed today's session. It's been a while, and thank you for all bearing with me until we were ready to continue the story.
Oh, don't worry.
Of course.
Sick, so I couldn't play anyway. Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed it. I know we didn't. It was a bit heavy on the role play today, but I think you've got lots of plans on what you're going to do going forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to know a bit more as well.
Thank you for hosting.
No,
it's
no
been
worries.
it's been really nice. It's like seeing an old friend.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Crap.
This
Couldn't have
was
said it
a-
better myself.
This was a good it's been 2 months and the last few sessions have been very action heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's been a
We need
lot
good
of combat.
balance of action and role play.
Exactly, and we had a nice easing back into it again, and you got to get a little bit of frustration out on Eldrum, got to get a little bit more lore, got to get a little bit of satisfaction after all your hard work. So
Started to bond a little.
and-
finally.
I would have done this earlier because you had a long rest, but it was a bit difficult to do it in the middle of the game. But after your success in the Hallisbell house, you will now go up to level 4.
Yay!
So yes, so
Nice.
we can talk about that during the week or the next couple of weeks before the next session. But you will finally get up
I'll
to
do it now.
a level where you can take some more stuff.
Yay!
We can just
Thank you.
update it in D&D Beyond, right? And then message you when we're done.
That's perfect. Yes, you can do that. Yeah.
Awesome.